There's a pattern that I'm noticing while I'm here in Kyoto studying at the language school. And it's primarily the pattern of visiting similar places that I've been to before, but seeing it in a different way. As an example, this morning I went to Arashiyama, the bamboo forest. And for me, I wasn't necessarily super excited about it. I have seen it before twice now, and it's not like the most beautiful of all the places you can visit in Kyoto. It's certainly unique, but I didn't feel too much excitement about it, basically. I just went because a friend's friend is visiting and she was going, so I was gonna visit eventually, so might as well go with her. So both of us went, and it was a good experience overall because I think we're like a similar type of traveler where we just take our time with things, as well as we're okay with traveling outside of the bounds of what we thought we would be at. So the primary place was the bamboo forest, but we also went to the park area and found a spot that I personally really loved, which was in the park area, like right outside of it. Once you hit the park, you just go down some stairs and eventually you hit I think it was like a river. And we got to the point where we're at the river, like we can touch it. And it was just a really beautiful site, like my favorite site in Arashiyama so far. And I think that's a pattern because when I visited Kiyomizu last week, I explored the area, the streets around Kiyomizu, and not just the temple itself. And I found the area to be I guess almost as worth visiting as the temple itself. If not more, because at least for me, since after you see it 2 or 3 times, you don't really need to see that temple anymore, but exploring the areas around it, and not just a couple streets, but a lot of it actually feels really good and fun and just fresh and different. And I think that's sort of what I want to do more of now that I'm actually here, not as a tourist, but I'm in Kyoto. I've been in Kyoto for about a month and a half now, and really giving it that time to explore the areas around the really touristy places, I guess. That's something that I would recommend, because at least for the places in Arashiyama, me and my friend were just walking around areas where there was no one at all, but they were just so beautiful sights that it's crazy how no one knows about them or no one's there, because there were so many people in the bamboo forest and just not the surrounding areas. So that's what I highly recommend doing. That's the pattern I've been seeing. And just talk more about the day. After Arashiyama, I had to go back because I had language school. That was overall a good session. I was sitting in the front this time, which makes a huge difference with my learning experience. I don't have great eyesight at this moment. It's been worsening over the years, primarily because I just look at a computer screen too much. Lots of editing, lots of work that is done on the computer. So I basically told the sensei yesterday that I needed to move to the front. Luckily, there's been this person who's been absent for a week, so they just moved me to that seat. And I feel like I'm learning a lot more and I'm more engaged, and the class experience overall is just better. The sensei can actually hear my answers now, so whenever she hears my answers, sometimes, she responds to it or uses it as the example to learn the new grammar or vocab. So it's a much more fun experience. I highly recommend if you're going to go to a language school. I mean, don't fake having bad eyesight, but just request that you want to sit in the front. Obviously, if you're not that type of person and you don't want to sit in the front, then you don't have to, but I honestly can't see a better way to learn other than to be engaged in the lessons. I think that's also a huge difference from my experience in high school and college, where I basically never really participated much in class other than just listening, and not really listening because I ended up dozing off every single time. So this is a much better experience. Anyways, after class, since it was raining, I just went straight to the station and practiced some piano at Yodobashi. From there, we ate okonomiyaki at Donguri. It's a chain here in Japan. I don't know if I've seen it in Tokyo. I'm sure there are, but it's just a okonomiyaki place that I've seen a lot in Kyoto. Pretty solid overall. I think for okonomiyaki, one advice I would have while you're eating it is to actually use the sauces a lot. All of them. The sweet one, the white one, the takoyaki flakes, the nori. All of it makes it taste more like takoyaki instead of okonomiyaki. I mean, I guess they're very similar in that sense, but I really like takoyaki, and back then I didn't really care for okonomiyaki, but the more I put these sauces on, the better it tastes and the better experience I'm having with it. But after that, we went back and had a call with my friend from Japan, got to practice some Japanese, and we got to plan some stuff for future trips. I'll probably talk more about those details later on once they happen, but it's actually very, very helpful to have someone who understands how certain things work and can easily read websites and whatnot, because we were doing some plans with other friends who aren't Japanese natives, and apparently we couldn't do them because they were not in season, and I had to learn that from my friend from Japan and tell my friends. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this day. It was very fun, very long. I was super tired by the end of it. This week has been quite a lot of activities, thanks to my friend's friend who is visiting as a tourist. Really appreciate her since she's really giving that like travel energy, and I really love it. So thank you. Okay, that's it for this one.